Do not run a single other ad until you watch this video. For the past 6 months of my life, I've worked on a way to completely onboard setters using AI. Most appointment setters don't quit because your leads are bad. They quit because they were not supposed to be there in the first place. This means me and my clients get to keep 95% profit margins on all of our offers, and we are able to onboard 30 plus appointment setters by just throwing up one story. And all of that is done without any manpower involved. Your business is limited by your collective brain power, and if you are not able to transfer your conviction into your team members within the first 72 hours of onboarding them, your business is going to just burn profit. You either take a lot of your time, which is wasting from your marketing and your fulfillment. You hire a manager to handle all the hiring, and then you're just losing profit. But in 2026, you are now able to hire technology, keep all of your profit, and actually do a better job. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down the exact AI-driven alignment engine that I've worked on to build my own consulting offer to over 6 figures before 18 years old and generate over $500,000 of revenue for me and all of my clients. You're going to leave with the exact 3-step blueprint to onboard all of your appointment setters with AI and how we are able to post one story and onboard 30 plus appointment setters at one time. Okay, so I'm going to be going over my exact 3-step system that I use to recruit setters, ramp them up, and make sure they're aligned with the company so they do not leave 6, 3, 2 months in. Not only that, but how I do all of it with AI and only 2 points of human contact. What you have to understand is that alignment of your sales team is just as important as the alignment of your clients. And if your sales team is not aligned with your offer and your business, they are not going to sell with conviction. If they are just in it for the commission and the profits, they are not going to close as much, therefore not making them as much commission and not making you as much cash collected each and every month. And I'm going to show you how you can check all of these boxes without having to learn how to train setters, hiring a setter manager, and just hiring software. So first is setter recruitment. Okay, everyone underestimates the importance of a good onboarding process, and it should be no different than onboarding a client. That's how I like to think about it. Okay, so here's what this does. Your setters are constantly leaving. They have 1 month, 2 month, maybe 3 months with you, and then they leave. Then you find a new one and they're pretty good, and then they leave and they don't end up preforming. Okay, your setters are not aligned. They don't know what they're doing. They're not trained properly, and they all end up leaving either way. Okay. And this is why the first 48 hours is so important, okay? And how we are able to supercharge this process using AI. Right now, your setters have a lack of training, they have a lack of alignment, and they have a lack of support. And this is why they are failing. Just like clients, week 1 sets the expectation for the whole entire partnership. And they want a result just like your clients do. So just how you onboard clients or mentees or students and they want to make their first 10K month, or they want to add $20,000 to their monthly recurring revenue, your setters want a result too. Okay, they're just in it to hit their goal. But if they're not aligned with the company, they are not going to sell with conviction, therefore not making you as much profit and you not hitting your result as well as them not hitting theirs. So how am I able to do this all within 48 hours and check all of these boxes? Okay, so all within 48 hours of throwing up one story. We have a custom training based off of their previous talents and what they need them for. So based off of the setter coming in and what they are already trained on, we are now able to get them on board and just make the fine tweaks based off the offer that we're running. Okay. They have live role play and coaching 24/7, a testing where they have 2 tries to score a 90% or higher, and they only have 2 tries, right? So every setter that comes in, we get them, they learn the offer, they get trained, which I'm going to show you how to do and how we do it with AI with no manpower involved. Okay. And then they have a testing where they have 2 tries to score a 90% or higher, and that's it. Okay. So they have those 2 tries. This is before we even look at the setter. Okay. So an AI agent that they can ask about the company, the script, the offer, the ICP, the business details, the mission statement, absolutely everything about the specific offer that they are on. Okay. So it doesn't matter if you're running sales coaching, content consulting, even fucking fitness coaching. Okay. It literally doesn't matter what the offer is. Each AI agent is custom to each one of our clients that we onboard them to. Okay. And then they have a custom dashboard with all their metrics, goals, all broken down, and then a tracking sheet to see exactly how they compare to others. This is all done within 48 hours of onboarding a setter. Okay. This is going to set the expectation so that they know the level that we are operating at. Okay. This is the reason my setters get results. Okay. Because they understand the level that we're operating at. They understand the expectation of them, as well as this is before they even talk to the offer owner. They talk to me. They don't talk to anybody until all of this is done, right? So they're like, okay, I haven't even talked to the offer owner. I haven't even talked to Chris, and I've already gone through all of this. I have all of this. Okay. They now know the expectations and they know the offer like the back of their hand. I'm going to show you how. Okay. They first get access to our training agent, which is taught on all of the sales calls, the offer, the ICP, the scripts, the mission statement, and all of the content of the offer owner, right? So if you're running a sales offer, right? And, say we're running this for Hormozi, okay? We are going to load up every single one of Hormozi's sales calls, okay? We're going to load up his offer into this agent. We're going to load up his ICP, the scripts, all of the DM setting scripts, the mission statement of the company, and every single piece of his content. They now have the offer owner in a database that they can talk to 24/7. They have a setting manager, they have a sales manager, they have the offer owner, they have me, all in one place that they can chat to 24/7. Okay. So they can ask questions like the ICP, the offer, common objections that they get, the positioning. They can ask literally anything to this agent and learn everything before they actually take the test. Okay. So this allows them to find out anything about the business that they might need to prepare for the test and ingrain everything in their head. Okay. Because they only have 2 tries. So they can sit here for 5 hours and learn the front and back of this offer that they're on. If they want a chance, if they don't want a chance, then they don't have to be on the offer. But if they want a chance, they're going to learn the offer, they're going to learn the ICP, they're going to learn the objections, and they're going to learn the script like the back of their hand because they have 2 tries. Okay. Again, no one has spoken to these people yet, right? We're just, hey, here's a training agent. You have your 2 tries. Tell us when you're ready. Okay. So once they are clear with everything, they're going to take the test. Okay. Now this is where it is just absolutely awesome. Okay. They use our custom roleplay agent to see exactly how they perform. Okay. So this is kind of what it looks like, right? So they go in, they select the industry. Is it B2B? Is it B2C? Is it a fitness coach, right? And this depends on the offer owner. We'll make a custom version of this for the offer owner. If it's a different offer or if it's something special, we'll make a custom one. But either way, they come to this, right? And they take their test. So they choose the industry that the offer is, okay? They choose the prospect profile, okay? So who are we pitching? Is it an impulse buyer? Is it a founder that's wanting to scale? Is it a founder that is looking to delegate? Who are they pitching, right? Okay. Then we go into the challenge level. What is the primary objection? Is it trust and credibility? Is it, and this has a ton of options. We can make this whatever it needs to be, but what is the primary objection that we're going to try to handle? And the actual manager sets this for the test, and then they set the difficulty. Okay. From there, they go through a real role play with the agent. Okay. So they are literally able to set appointments with this AI, and it's going to give them everything. Okay. So, like, here's an example. Hey, man, looks like we got off on the wrong foot. I was reaching out regarding my recent video. Are you interested in scaling your info offer? Scaling an info offer, that's what everyone says. What exactly is your info offer? Why should I trust you with mine? Lamau, I know the space can be sketchy. So if I don't already trust you, you're out. Got it. Right. Because I said this was terrible. This was a terrible DM set. That's why I don't send DMs. Okay. But this is just an example. They then get a score, right? So we don't have to look over role plays. We don't have to, do anything. We set what we want within this AI agent. We tell it, all right, this is what the score, this is how to score everything. And they're just going to get their score and it's going to score it for us. Now, the manager will go back in and make sure that the score was right and that, whatever. So if they don't score up, it doesn't, again, I haven't talked to this dude and they're already getting tested, right? So it's going to give them a score. It's going to give us an executive summary of what the actual conversation looked like, strengths, missed opportunities, and critical fixes. Okay. And then the manager will go in, view the session transcription, make sure, the score was right and all this matched up. If they scored above, we'll get a notification. The manager will come in, make sure they're good and get them onboarded. Okay. If not, they have one more try. And if they fail, then they're not on the offer. Okay. So this is a gate, okay? A wall that we put on the offer owner's time, my setter manager's time, the sales manager's time, everybody's time. This is a wall at a point where we can throw up one story, get an influx of setters or whoever we need. And this is our gateway, okay? This is the gate that blocks all of our calendars and keeps them off of it, okay? After that test, we review the score and the chat logs, okay? So if they get a passing score, we will review the chat logs, make sure they're good to go, and get them onboarded, okay? If they do not pass, we'll get on a call with them, coach them up on what they missed and where to improve if they get close. If they completely shit the bed, then they're done, okay? But if they were close, we'll coach them up on what they missed and where to improve, okay? We'll send them back to the training agent to learn the script, the tone, and the sales better. They will coach themselves up. Okay. We are not going to waste our time on people that are not onboarded, people that are not bought into the company. Okay. They are going to coach themselves if they really want to be on the offer. okay? And they will get one more try to pass the test, go through the process again. If they pass, they will get onboarded. If not, they are gone, okay? So it's ruthless, okay? It's ruthless out here, all right? So they have their 2 tries. If they don't pass, we really don't even know because we don't get a notification unless they get close or they pass. So if you don't pass, that's not on us. We gave you the exact blueprint. We told you exactly what we want. We gave you the script and we gave you an actual chat to talk to. If you knew what you were doing, you would pass. I guarantee it. This is yet to slip up. Okay. So notice the amount of training and testing in the first 48 hours alone. Okay. This is the level that I'm operating at. Okay. And nobody can compare to this unless you want to hire a setter manager that is going to go through one by one, vet. First, you post a story, you get a forms in, you're going to vet each person, then you're going to go through role play with them, then you're going to get a call with each one, then you're going to train them up, then you're going to send them some weak ass Notion dashboard for them to coach themselves. And this is why they leave after 1 to 2 months because they're not getting results. They're wasting your leads and then they're blaming it on the leads. Your leads are not bad. I promise you. I promise you. Okay. So a common mistake is that everyone just gives their setters access to leads before vetting their knowledge and their skills. Okay. No matter how many leads you have, no matter how massive your account is, no matter, how much you're spending on ads, you're still wasting leads. Okay. If you really care about the cash collected at the end of the month and you actually want to scale, you have to be operating like your goal. If you want to scale to 100K a month, you have to be operating like a 100K per month business owner. Okay. 100K per month business owner does not onboard anybody, give them access to leads and just say, well, here's a Notion dashboard, coach yourself up, we'll hop on weekly calls. No. Okay. So the solution is not only do we give them all the knowledge that we want them to have, but we also quiz them and run mocks with them to test their execution of the knowledge before fully onboarding them. Okay. This is a company that we're running. Okay. I'm sorry, Raheem, or whatever the setter's name is, but we're not just going to let you in here. Okay. You're going to have to earn your spot. Okay. And that sets an expectation. Okay. The AI is able to help us with this entire process. Now, why is this so helpful? Okay. We can get pure quantity and automatically sift through for the best quality without taking any manpower. So instead of getting 40, 50, 60 type form submissions, manually going through, even putting it in AI and being like, give me the best 30. That's not efficient because ChatGPT is not trained on what you need in that specific offer. Okay. We're going to let them coach themselves. And if they want a spot on this offer, they're going to have to earn it. Okay. Now, in just a 24-hour span, here's what this genuinely looks like. Okay. We throw up one story or we tap into our VA database. It depends on the offer. If it's a massive offer with not a lot of followers, then we'll tap into our VA database. If someone has a ton of followers and they're in the space and the story is beneficial, we'll throw up a story. It really depends on the offer owner and who our client is. Okay. From there, we will get 30 plus appointment setters. It depends obviously on the creator that we're working with. But either way, we're going to get a ton of appointment setters and purely focus on quantity. Okay. It doesn't matter what the quality is because they're going to have to prove themselves. Okay. And we don't need any manpower, right? We're going to put them in a separate chat. They're going to get access to the offer, business, ICP content, everything they might need to know, like we said, to the training agent. Now, this is made for every single one of my clients. They each get this training agent. And this isn't just for setters. This is for anybody that they onboard to the team. If a team member has a question, they can just go to this before they actually go to the creator. If a client that I have is doing anything but making content or working on the fulfillment of the offer, I have not done my job. Okay. Now, if you are a creator running an offer or you have a social media presence and you are, have an agency and you are selling from social media and you are doing anything but focus on social media or fulfillment, you are in the wrong and you're never going to scale because that is where your attention should always be. And that is where your highest leverage is. Okay. So we make sure they're clear with everything before they take the test. They go through our test and go through our custom roleplay agent to see exactly how they perform. Okay. From there, we get a notification. Only people that scored above a 2.5 and then review the score and the chat logs. If they score below, they go and self-train themselves and try again. Okay. We are going to take the top performers. The number depends on the offer. If we need 10 appointment setters, we'll take the top 10. If we need 5, we'll take the top 5. If we need 1, then we'll take the top 5 and manually vet each one, right? Depends on the offer. Then they go into setter ramp up, okay? So now this is what AI is used for, okay? We now have 10 semi-trained setters without doing anything but post a story with 2 points of human interaction within 24 hours. The level of speed that we are moving at is the fastest in the industry. Okay. Now, this doesn't mean we have 10 A+ setters that don't need to be trained, but we plucked out the top performers out of the 30 plus that we got without using any actual manpower. Okay. We are hiring technology instead of man. Okay. This keeps our margins at 95%, our jobs a whole lot easier, and we are moving the fastest in the market. Okay. And this is all while showing the setters our standards and expectations. Okay. So that is literally just the vetting process, right? So we are able to use AI and gatekeep our calendar and allow the offer owner to purely focus on content and fulfillment. Now, if you're not working with us, I recommend you build this yourself. I would go into ChatGPT and throw all of your documents into one place, and throw in a prompt that allows for the setter script, or have your setter manager if you have one. If it's just you, I would fix that either way. But if you have the time, I would do it yourself. And we are now able to gatekeep any of our time and solely focus on the highest leverage of tasks and just get an influx of people that we can pluck from, okay? Instead of manually trying to vet through each person, okay? From there, we go into setter ramp up. Now, we send them an onboarding form. Why do we do this, okay? Just like how you would like to know our clients' wants and desires, I want to know my team members, okay? My employees, okay? What is your desired monthly income in 6 months, okay? At the end of the day, nobody's going to be a setter forever, right? And if they're a setter right now, they're going to try to transition into something else. And I want to know what their desired monthly income is so that we can set KPIs. We know their expectations. And this is the expectation you set for yourself, bro. So if you're not meeting the KPIs that we need you to meet, you're gone. Okay. You set this for yourself, right? So they get added to a niche specific setter Discord channel. They then get access to setter dashboard. This is the all-in-one spot. It's within AI Growth OS. They get all the scripts, tracking sheets, call scheduling links, payment links, group coaching links, and sales KPI sheet. Okay. So this is a one-stop place for all of the setters. They get absolutely everything, as well as the DM AI. Okay. And I'm going to show that in a second. And on our end, this is all done automatically. Okay. So the second we get them onboarded, we're going to hop on a call, send them the onboarding form, and it's going to make all of this, create their own custom setter dashboard with their own custom sheet, depending on all the information that they put in, set our own KPIs automatically based off of what their goals are. Like the level that we are moving at is absolutely ridiculous. And what we are able to do with AI at a high level is stupid. Okay. So again, based off what their desired monthly income is, okay, we're going to set KPI metrics, right? It is a lot easier if they know exactly how many outreaches, meeting links, YouTube links, booking links, and calls must be taken per day, instead of saying, this month we want to hit 20K. That's not enough motivation for a setter, okay? They don't care what the business hits if they're not aligned correctly, okay? But if you tell them, hey, you're going to hit 10K per month this month if you book 2 calls every single day, okay? And this is what you wanted, right? You wanted 10K per month. This is how you're going to do it, okay? And it's going to set this automatically right after they book the onboarding form or they fill out the onboarding form. This is all going to happen automatically in the background, okay? And it's all going to be within this one dashboard, okay? As well as we get them bought into the growth of the business and the offer that they're on, okay? So we're going to tell them, hey, this is the rate that our business is growing. If you stick with us till month 12, we're going to be making 100. That's the rate that we're on. We're going to be making 150K per month, okay? And if you want in on that, and if you want to be bought in, you're here, okay? This is what we're projected for. Now, from there, we introduce setter scorecard. Okay, this is an EOD form sent every single day, typical, and it's going to automatically fill the scorecard. So for our offer owner, they can see the overall metrics in the absolute smallest detail. Okay, so we're going to be able to see the new followers that the offer owner got. Did they post on IG? Did they post on YouTube? Did they post a story? Our ad spend, our outreach, okay? YouTube link sent, new combos, follow-ups, calls proposed, calls booked, qualified call to new convo percentage, calls booked, total cash, total revenue, ads, literally absolutely everything, so that the creator can go to this dashboard and see every single metric and they don't even have to think about it, okay? Now, manually filling this in would kind of suck. Again, with AI, we can just send our EOD forms, and as long as everybody fills them out, which again, a lot of it is automated with AI. We're just going to pull API keys and do a lot of it in the back end, but we are going to send our EODs for stuff that we can't connect. Like, did you post on IG? You're just going to click yes or no on the EOD form. We have EOD forms for all of our clients so that they can track in one place. They just don't have to think about it. They just fill out the form every single day. And, at the halfway through the month, or whenever we get on our weekly call, we can say, hey, these are your numbers. This is, our qualified call to new convo percentage. Okay, now let's look within the appointment setting dashboard. Oh, the blank, blank, and blank are not performing, and their qualified call to new convo percentage is lacking compared to everybody else. We got to cut them because, this is what it's doing to our revenue, or this is what it's doing to our ROAS. Like, if you can see every metric of data, I can guarantee that you scale. If you know exactly what's holding you back, and you know to the smallest detail every single point that you are catching, it's like that to fix, especially with AI. Okay. So head coaches will host daily and niche specific training calls for all the setters. So based off of what niche they're in, if they're in a B2B, we have a B2B channel. If they're in B2C, we have a B2C channel. If they're fitness offer, we have a fitness. Okay. And then every single day they're going to grow set AI and they're going to train themselves. Okay. We're not going to run role plays and waste our managers' time when they can be doing higher leverage tasks. They're just going to train. We're going to make sure they train because we can track it in our back end. We're going to say, hey, Chris, you didn't use grow set AI today. Why? Okay. It's been 2 days now. If you don't use it tomorrow and I don't see you do 5 role plays, you're gone. Okay. So we can track which setters are running mocks daily and our KPIs that match along with them. Chris, you're not running your mocks and your KPIs are not hitting, you're gone, bro. Okay. And as well as all the chat logs. Okay. So within those daily calls, the coaches will review the chat logs and give targeted feedback to each and every setter. The result is that the setters are bought into the offer, they're bought into the team, they have access to mocks and training 24/7, and they hit KPIs faster with long-term performance maintenance, okay? AKA, they make more money faster for a longer time, okay? Because nobody likes hiring, firing, managing appointment setters, okay? Now, from there, we go into setter alignment, which is absolutely the most important part, okay? New setters lack business alignment for at least 6 months in, okay? I've been working with my setter for 8 months now, okay? And it is purely due to the alignment that we have together to make sure that he is bought in, I'm hitting his goals, and he is hitting mine, okay? Now, this is why your setters keep leaving. They are primarily motivated by commission and career progression, which is understandable. You can't blame them, if they're an appointment setter, they have limitations and they want to progress. And I want that for my setters, okay? And I want you to progress. But a long-term setter retention is built on aligned incentives and win-win outcomes. If you're scaling to 150, 200K per month and your setter's making 15, 20, 30K per month, he's going to stay with you and he's going to be really damn good at that offer, okay? So at the end of the day, it's on you. As long as they're closing, it's on you. Now, if they're not closing, then you have a lack of alignment, you have a lack of training, and you have a problem, okay? So to do this, you first must know what the setter's goals are, bro. They're humans. They're part of your team. Even if you have 30 of them, 40 of them, you still must know their goals if you want them in for the long run. Again, I would rather have 5 A+ setters at different shifts of the day than 40 just, doing whatever they want, or 20. Now, if you're running a offer that is at a massive scale, obviously you're going to need a lot and it's going to get hard. But if you can do this at least for your A+ players and you have one manager and then 4, sub managers, then you're going to have a good time, right? So I always ask them these 3 questions. What do you want to transition into after setting? Because most of them have higher aspirations. How long until you want to make that transition? And what are your goals in the next 6 months before making that transition, right? So for this 3rd question, most of them will want to make 5 to 10K per month in commissions. Now, I want to understand why they want to achieve that as well, right? So here's a reply that one of my setters gave, right? Personal goals. They want to leave their 9 to 5. They want to make 5 to 10K per month in commissions. They want to move to Bali. They want to learn how big operations and offers are running, and they want to transition into operating, right? So if I know that, he wants to leave his 9 to 5, he wants to make 5 to 10K per month in commissions, move to Bali, whatever, and we set these KPIs, I can now go back to this which is in their dashboard and say, yo, Chris, you said you wanted to do this. You're making, $1,000. Your qualified conversation to booked call percentage is at 5%. Like, well, what are we doing, bro? Okay. And you're not even hitting your KPIs. Okay. I'm going to give you one more week. I expect to see 10 role plays per day. And I want to see all your KPIs hit. And if not, guess what? You're gone. Okay. So now alignment. If the setter wants to make 6K in commissions in the next 3 months, okay, and the setter's on a 5% commission, which is industry standard, we're going to set those KPIs for him, okay? So we're going to say, yo, if you want to make 6K in commissions, this is what you're going to have to do. And if you don't do that, then you can't blame that on us. And it's not our leads. I promise you it's not our leads. Okay. Now, if he doesn't get the results that he's looking for, he knows it's on him and he knows exactly what has to be done. Now, he doesn't hold this against you. He knows what he set for himself. We set the KPIs for him. He agreed to it. He's onboarded. He has the training accessible. It's on you. Okay. And for him to make that, he would need to generate you $120,000 in cash collected. Okay. So alignment, if you guys are aligned and your team is aligned, they will make the offer owner a lot more money. They will make you a lot more money if you are aligned with them. Okay. Because their best interest is tenfold of whatever you want. So they're making 6K, they're stoked. You made 120K in cash collected. Okay. So this is the most important part, as most setters leave because of this misalignment. Now, we want to reverse engineer these numbers for them so they know exactly what must be done. Okay. Once the numbers are aligned, we define the path for you, and the setter will take you there. Okay. So we reverse the engineer your goals using these core sales metrics. Okay. So the company's, monthly cash collected goal is 120,000, AOV is 3,000, close is 40, close rate 40%, qualified calls taken is 100, show rate 85, qualified calls booked is 118, new combos to qualified conversation percentage is 20%, and new combos 588, right? So these are our monthly and weekly projections or KPIs to hit for the actual business. Now we reverse engineer this for the actual setter, okay? So you get your key monthly conversion targets from new combos to closes, aka how many people you talk to versus how many people actually give you money, right? Okay, now setting KPIs with them. We're just gonna reverse engineer our company's goal, their goals, into daily actions, okay? So we're gonna break these into weekly and daily goals. Now, Chris, you want to hit 6K in commissions. I wanna hit 120K in cash collected. This is what you are to do every single day. And we're tracking every single bit of it. So if you don't hit it, I know, okay? So this is how many warm outbounds per day, follow-ups, booking links that you have to send. If based off of our percentage, okay, based off of our new convo to qualified call percentage, which is 20%, Chris, as long as you send 10 booking links to qualified prospects, you are going to hit your KPI because we are tracking every single metric. And as long as you do this, you're going to do it, okay? As long as our show rate is at 85% and you make sure 85% of people show up, and you book 2 to 3 qualified calls per day, you're going to hit your metric, okay? So those numbers become your setters KPIs, okay? This is how you set KPIs with your appointment setters. KPIs are now mutually beneficial, okay? You want to hit this, they want to hit this. As long as we're aligned and you're bought into the company and the growth of this company, then I can guarantee you, you will hit your goal. You can quit your 9 to 5 and you can hit your goals. Why I say that knowing what they want is very, very important. And I must know what my team members want and what their goals are so that they are bought into my company, okay? Now, they're set with the intention that if they're hit, you and your setter both hit your goals for that month. Now, it's all positioned in their best interest to work for the why that they mentioned at the start, okay? This is their why. This is why they want to win. This is how you're going to get there, okay? I'm going to lead you there. I just need you bought into me and hitting your stuff. Okay. If you are not using AI within your info business right now, you are missing out on so much profit and so much time to focus on marketing and fulfillment. People think that it's not right to use AI because it's not you and it's not human. But if we are able to save ourselves time to build the business, it is going to be better for the setter that is on the offer. It is going to be better so that we are more aligned with each other and we're both hitting our goals. It is going to be better because we are going to scale the company, focus on marketing to get more leads for the setter, right? It is in the best interest of not just you, but every single one of your team members, and as well as your time. If you want your time back, you have to rather hire people or hire technology. We are now able to hire technology and build systems that saves our time to purely focus on marketing, content, and actual fulfillment so we can market that fulfillment and keep the circle going. If you have made it this far, I appreciate it. If you want this system built within your business, you can book a call down below. Me and my team will talk to you. We'll show you our exact process and how we will turn your info business into completely AI enabled for you to just focus on content and the actual fulfillment of your offer. I appreciate it. Merry Christmas. If you guys couldn't see, the Christmas theme is pretty sick. So Merry Christmas and have a good one.